Hello everyone, this is Link with another run in Monster Train. We are gonna do another custom challenge, and this one again is for Never Nathaniel's Monster Train Tournament. I think we can pretty safely say we will already qualify with the score on our first run, so the second one is gonna be just for fun. And yeah, looking at the scores, this one might be a bit harder. The clans here are Rector Flicker, well, Melting Remnant Hellhorned with Rector Flicker as our champ, traditional cards, also Covenant 25, nothing else, no mutators or anything. Again, this is gonna be a score run, so we are gonna try optimizing our score. I am gonna try beating out these scores because they are pretty low. I think I can almost always get like a 39 to 40k score in most Covenant 25 runs if I try, but we'll see about that. This one might be quite hard actually. Okay, this start doesn't make it easy for us. We have Entombed Explosive, Ritual of Bell, and Memento Mori. Entombed Explosive at least helps a lot with the early game, and Ritual of Bell can be very nice damage scaling, but it's hard to use early on, and Memento Mori similarly hard to use early on, and just generally not that good in shorter fights. Daedalus with double explosives, we have Fell with Scorches, and we have Seraph the Patient again. Gabriel is currently playing this seed. Let's say hello to them. And then look at the relic. We have Scorching Restraints and Traitor's Quill. I do like Traitor's Quill sometimes, but for this deck it has to be Scorching Restraints just because we have a lot of units. We potentially have a chance to build up Rage as well. We have Burnout versus Reform Flicker. The answer should be easy. We have no Burnout extension, we have no Reform yet. We have Entombed Explosives, which are very good Reform targets. We go with our calling here. Let's see, Mark of Invasion. We're certainly gonna take damage to this, unless we draw a very torch heavy hand on the first turn. In addition to that, it's going to be a bit harder to set up Rector Flicker, just because every floor has lethal damage on him, except the bottom one. No, the bottom one will too, because we are fighting these clergymen here. But we still do it for points. It's just going to be a bit of a mess. We'll take some damage here. That's almost guaranteed. I think we want Rector to be on the second floor if at all possible. That might not be... that might not be very ideal though. Better have him protected on the top floor. I don't want the Train Steward to die if possible. I could keep it in the second row, so the Train Steward would live with 3 HP. That doesn't accomplish much though, because these guys will still hit for 3 at the very least. I could put the Train Steward all the way in the back, but then how do we keep Rector Flicker alive? Maybe that will just work out. Will it? We would need a single unit to put in front. And then what? We can't heal him up afterwards. Torches would help a lot. This gives me access to good reforms. If the Train Steward doesn't die, we can more easily reform Dregs, which are much better reform targets for us. We can kill the Collector here. This helps a little bit. Takes out one more clergyman, so we take a little bit less damage. We can't make the Train Steward survive on this floor. And we can't prevent them all from dying? Well, we could in theory. Rectal Flicker will be a 1 HP, so this wave will almost certainly kill him off. That's a problem. No idea how to solve that right now. No, actually it's easy. These only have 1 attack, so we just need any unit in front here. Like this one, for example. Torch the backliner so we don't take damage to these, and then start setting up the bottom floor. Torch one of these as well. We definitely torch here. I think max damage we get if we put a drag in front. There we go. That's our bottom floor kill. Can't save Rector here, but we've already won. So things are okay. 7 damage taken, that's fine. Molded would help us when Rector Flicker isn't reforming the right targets. I think I want one Molded, but I have to consider the other options, and Dripfall is one of them. Dripfall is generally quite good. Molded versus Dripfall. This is a tough decision. I'm gonna go with Molded here. Opens up more options for us. We need the vent. We don't have backline access except with torches, and these are hugely inefficient. So this is going to be a very flexible deck where we play around a lot with unit placement and timing and stuff. So this is going to be a bit of a complicated deck. I think remnant units are better. We are not going to get a whole lot of upgrades on the units we already have. The only thing I'm really looking for here is an upgrade on vent and a cost reduction on the molder perhaps. There's a Lady of the House, there's also Paraffin Enforcer. Either of these could work great in a deck like this, but I think I like the Lady of the House more because most likely we're not going to keep our units around for that long and we'll be often replaying them, losing all the rage. Although we do have some rage synergies, well, not really rage synergies. We have rage generation, which we can later on turn into rage synergies. So Paraffin Enforcer isn't terrible, but I think I still want the Lady instead for the stats. Vent definitely warrants an upgrade here. I don't think I want to double stack and cost reduce the Ritual of Battle, even though that's a lot of damage scaling. For now we don't really need that right at the moment. Let's cost reduce the Molded instead. And I think we move on. I actually kind of want to remove Train Steward from the deck. Yeah, I think that's important enough. We don't want to reform these ever. So we can't let them die, and if we can't let them die, they are mostly useless. Let's take the unit draft here. That might be very valuable to us. Lady and... this guy's actually more damage, so let's kill that one. Drag goes on the top floor for now, just in case the collector spawns up there and we don't draw into a torch. That did not happen. I think this is pretty simple. We torch here so we get access to the collector. Tombed Explosive here will kill the Forged Disciple. Wanna have a drag die now? Not really. Let's get the Train Steward out of our draw possibilities, and then start reforming things. That was actually fine. We play it on this floor so it dies and gets reformed immediately. I Also want to do a similar thing with this one, just that we have to torch it to actually get it back. And now the lady of the house burns out at the wrong time. So that's a little bit of a problem. Can Memento Mori the frontliner, then play 2 Entombed Explosives, deal 100 to the High Priest. This Entombed Explosive will actually survive a turn of combat. No, not really, because of the Conduit Redirector, but we can. We can make it? We can't. I don't think the bottom floor kill here is possible. It's always gonna be difficult. You know, if I had set this up differently, it might be possible. Really don't wanna optimize too much here, but I'm curious. This is mostly for science. I think my setup there was pretty suboptimal, because instead we can just have the lady on this floor instead. That works a bit better. In terms of reforming stuff, just because we get better access to our own units at the right time. Most importantly, next turn we'll have the lady of the house ready again to immediately reform on the bottom floor, and that's gonna make a big difference. We will also have this drag and perhaps this Entombed Explosive, so we won't actually be guaranteed to have the lady. Huh. So maybe that was still not ideal. But we did get the lady here, so everything should be fine now. Well, you attack, you blow the Entombed Explosive up, killing yourself. And then the explosive in the back will finish the High Priest. So yeah, the timing of the reforms is the most important part. That makes or breaks this deck. We have another Molder to help us. There's also a Molten Encasement, which isn't critical, but it would help protect our Rector. Purifying Cleanse could help us change the burnout timers, just if they happen to be not lining up correctly. And Fledgling Imp is the rage generator we really want, because we can actually reform that one. And I think we don't want these units. Another lady might have been worth it, but I'd rather upgrade it here and dupe it later, so we have a strong lady instead. Let's take a look. Endless, Wickstone. Wickstone, I love that on Fledgling Imp. It's gonna be very useful. If we reroll, we can't afford a large upgrade. We could get a Heartstone on the lady, perhaps. You know what? Instead of reforming that imp, I'm just gonna give it Endless. Makes things a lot easier for us. Rage now obviously isn't the best way for us to scale, just because our units are gonna die over and over again. But it's still a good way to scale. We have the consumable cards. Space Prism. Thank you. Space Prism is actually very, very good in a deck like this. Because we do play around with units a lot. Double Explosive means a single bomb can kill our Rector Flicker, so we need to be wary of that. Here I'm gonna let the lady tank the bomb. We don't need all that damage. I could kill the bomb, but I want the lady to die so we can reform her, increase her stats a bit. as early as possible. Like right now, seems like a great time. Let's also start killing these enemies. Get the lady back very early on. Our main floor is still gonna be the bottom floor. Remaining wave 3. Does the lady die again? That's 24 damage. She probably doesn't die, and I don't want her damaged, although we do have the big heal in Purifying Cleanse, so that helps. But I do want to kill the bomb in that case. Do I mind that guy dying? Not at all. Not at all. This one has burnout 1. I want it to die after the fight here has mostly finished, so we can actually get to the Forged Disciple in the back. Do want this drag down here, let the fledgling imp tank the damage, and I want the drag all the way in front just to absorb some hits, so we don't take too much damage here, and this drag can do a similar thing for Rector instead. We do lose the train stewards, which sucks a bit, because now we're gonna reform those. But it's not too bad. Can we make Entombed Explosive die on the top floor? It doesn't look like we can. I should have kept one of these train stewards alive. That was a very bad decision not to do that. Lady needs more burnout, and then we remove... it doesn't matter. They both have the same attack number. Took 1 damage I didn't have to take here. Looks like these are gonna burn out. Maybe we can prevent some of that. Increase the damage a little. This thing is gonna burn out after the first hit. I do want it to attack the Disciple Protector before any of these blow up. This is only gonna be 60 more damage, so we don't quite have the kill on the bottom floor. If I put it in the front, it will be 30 more damage instead. That's not gonna help. But anyway, we are close enough here so we can get the kill on this floor. That's fine. We lost 1 turn of boss rush. It's not great, but it's okay. Sacrificial Resurrection. Intent on Death. Intent on Death could be good if we find the right pieces, but they're mostly rares. I'm gonna go with Sacrifice instead. That's always gonna be good. And the large draft is very useful to us. Let's gain some more capacity. We didn't upgrade our lady yet, so let's go to the left, get a relic and some free removals. I like the Pyrestone housing, I also like the Pyre wall quite a lot. Who are we up against? Scorchfell. Well, Pyre wall can really make a big difference against Scorchfell. Train stewards have to leave the train now, because we really don't want to reform them. And I don't think we want to suddenly branch into Burn Bright. Let's get the stats and the better attack buff on reform. Heaven Seal, that might actually be tough to deal with, but we can't afford to drop a challenge for score if we really want to go for a good score here. And basically, to deal with this frontliner, we are gonna need bombs. There's no way around that. Rector should probably be on the top floor. Think this is just to get rid of the armor. I don't want to increase the burnout yet. There's 1 bomb. We need both at the same time though. This is rough. This fight is gonna be very difficult to perfect or even just not take too much damage. How about Entombed Explosive on the bottom? Drag, Fledgling Imp. That doesn't even have space. Drag, Fledgling Imp, Entombed Explosive. That gives us 50 damage on this guy. Then another 9 plus Fledgling Imp is gonna provide 6, 12, 18. This guy's also gonna deal. No, actually it's another 6 from the Scorching Restraints. So we're looking at 39, 89. So we could kill the Clip Guardian. We could also do that stuff on this floor and kill the Clipped Reflector. That might be even better. Kill the backliner here. We already got the Collector. Reform this drag. What do I want to sacrifice here? I do want to sacrifice quite a bit. Maybe not the Molded. Definitely not the Fledgling Imp. And probably want to keep one drag around. I guess that should probably be the upgraded one. So we go Molder for the bomb. Bomb goes on this floor. Drag goes on this floor. Fledgling Imp doesn't really matter where we put them. Might as well be here so we can remove a little bit more armor. Let's remove these cards and then put a Giraffe here to kill the Clip Defender. This is gonna be difficult. Not too bad. This will do. Did get the draft back, which is very good. Can we get that draft killed immediately? We can if we play it here. The problem is that we can kill the Clipped Reflector. No, we can. It's pretty easy even. Do I want the draft to get killed? Is the Molded still in the deck? It's not. In that case, I think we don't want the draft to get killed and let it do one round of combat against the boss. I don't think it's Memento Mori here. Can we do 100? This guy's gonna deal 15. And then we're gonna gain... We have 66, 81 plus 18, 99 damage. And then Went will be the kill. Oh, we now also have the Imp hitting as well. Killing one backliner is gonna matter here. Also want to take as many hits as we can. Right now, this is gonna go there, then this is gonna go there. This one is gonna burn out. I think we want the imp to be somewhere in the back. It doesn't really matter where exactly. Strange Yard will burn out at the right time if we put it there. It's fine. Not quite a bottom floor kill, but very close. Didn't take damage at least. Vapor Funnel, I don't mind that. That means we can much more easily let enemies go past. Devourer of Death gives us a free turn later on. It's not a great reform target because soul is low, soul will be reset, but we gain soul pretty quickly in this deck. So it's pretty easy to have it do a reasonable amount of damage. Is there anything we consume that we want to bring back with the Impish Scholar? Or do we take Last Stand? Last Stand is not that great in a deck that doesn't keep the units around. Maybe what we want is Tiresome Climb instead. That will probably be better. I don't think we want Impish Scholar here. We need a bit more scaling and front-loaded damage. No, actually our scaling is alright. We need a bit more front-loaded damage. Rage does not decay. Too bad we don't have any demons. Otherwise, we could really make one of them into a rage carry. But I think Collection of Tales is still fine. We need some cost reductions. These Ritual of Battle are pretty hard to play right now. Double stacking a Tiresome Climb could be useful. Especially... No, the Daisy isn't that great if our units have burnout. It's the main problem. I can still reroll and afford a large upgrade even if I buy this. Right? 180, yeah, that will still work out. Let's upgrade one of these torches, then reroll. Permafrost on the Tiresome Climb is good. It could also be good on the Zagras. Zagras is very important for this deck. Just want one of these I can play. And... yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tiresome Climb for the Permafrost. Let's remove the final Train Steward and start working on these torches. They're still okay right now. They can still kill the 9-2 backliners. They can still kill the stealth guys. But after Fell, they will really fall off in power because all the backliners are gonna have at least 3 health. Incoming is 60. We could put Lady of the House and Rector of Flicker both on this floor, but Rector of Flicker would take a lot of damage. I really don't like that. I'm gonna go with the second floor setup. Top floor setup. Top floor setup and let Lady of the House die this turn. That will work. It's gonna work alright. Rage on Flicker, not because I really want him to have rage, but just because he's the only target where it could matter at all. We do get the Collector here. We can reform the Lady this turn. We need to start working on this wave, even though the next wave will also be a problem. We can't make these guys survive. Love the vent. That's gonna be huge. Top floor is theoretically fine. We don't have to do anything if we don't want to. So we could Lady of the House, Devourer of Death, kill the Silent Marksman. We could also just Devour of Death on the bottom floor, kill these with the vent, and then have it ready with 3 soul for the next wave. That's not too bad. We could Lady of the House here, went here, but we wouldn't kill the Clip Defender even with that. We could put Lady of the House on the top to prevent the damage from the Silent Marksman, but what is that even gonna help us accomplish? I don't know. I like the Devourer of Death bottom play. Maybe I went a bit too hard on capacity and I should have gone with draw instead. I think I take the 20 on Rector. I really shouldn't. I really can't. Because this guy has sweep, so he would kill our Rector and then we are in a big trouble. We can ascend this guy and just kill the backline, alright. We have 102, this guy has 105, so we're a little bit short. We have a couple of ways to make up for that. What can we reform here? Drag? Is it gonna be a huge help here? It's gonna be pretty decent on the bottom floor though. Wait, this guy doesn't have sweep. What was I thinking? Got that guy confused with another one. Similar enemy. Yeah, just a little bit short. We can Fleshling in PR, but then we can play Sacres, and we need to play Sacres. Well, we can play Sacres, but not a draft that comes out of it. So I think we have to use the Explosive instead. I don't really want to kill my Fletchling Imp, and I definitely don't want to kill my Molded, so let's Mold and Drag. Do we have enough Drags left over? Yeah, we can reform them after sacrificing them. Same goes for the Fletchling Imp, so things are okay. Do want a unit here, just to block the damage from the Overcharge tank. This one is actually better right now. So the draft can actually kill the tank. This deck feels like a very complicated kind of machine, where every piece needs to be at the right place at the right time. And it's fun to play a deck like this, but it's also a bit difficult sometimes. It's easy to make mistakes. This is just gonna be a burn out of the one floor. They're not gonna accomplish that much. So maybe I should leave some capacity for especially this draft. At the very least that draft. That draft does need a place. We do still have reform targets left in the discard, but honestly, Lady is such a good reform target that I do want to kill her here. Alright, we can't even hit those. We can't even hit those enemies. Just put the highest burnout unit here in the back. We went. We kill this thing so we can actually sacrifice this draft to the boss. What that's gonna accomplish is that we actually will have the draft in our reform pool in case we draw the Molder next turn. This drag can take the front line here. And then we went. We have 5 stealth left, which is still a lot. Memento Mori is good damage. What happens if we ascend here? Nothing good happens. Yeah, that's really bad. So let's make a burnout chain, so we can make sure that the boss needs all his turns on actually getting through these guys. None of these guys are gonna survive a hit though. So I'm just gonna use the memento to limit our worst case scenario of the boss actually making it to the top. Is Lady of the House or Draft better? Boss has 1 stealth left, so Draft would be dazed in the first round anyway, but would be able to hit 2 times for 120 each. That will do pretty well here. In fact, I would say well enough. This boss is almost impossible to kill on the bottom floor with a deck like this. Sketches of Salvation gets me a bunch of units out, already burning out. Helps us a lot. Quick starting our stuff to be reformed earlier. Resin removal, is that something we're interested in? I don't think so. I'll go with Sacred Wicks. Imp in a Box is very nice. Dark Deal is not bad either, especially with Collection. But I still want Imp in a Box. These are very good reform targets, these imps. We have capacity to use them. We need the unit upgrades. I wouldn't mind Merchant of Trinkets if I had a bit more gold, but I can afford something like Multi-Strike right now, so... Check Strips and Melting Spout. Melting Spout is actually good with this deck. Gives our tombs burnout and makes them able to tank a lot more damage. Eternal Stone is not good. This is a bit unfortunate. I think we keep our gold and try again here. We also have removals there, which is good. Gets us a few more torches out of the deck. Because as said, after Fell they are not gonna be useful anymore. We do have the Pyre Wall, so we can tank some damage with our Pyre pretty safely. So we can set up the Lady of the House here on the bottom, start working on these. Kill both backliners to prevent accumulation of Scorches. Love the Vent right now. It's gonna be very nice. If I want to play Sacres, I do have to plan to play the Vent first. And I do want to play the Vent. Probably no, not playing Sacres can... Nah, if I'm not going to play the unit, it's basically pointless to even play the Sacres. So if I want to play the Sacres, it's Tiresome Climb one of these. So we only have 1 Scorch and the Fell one to deal with next turn. This is bad. This is a very bad hand. I have to. Well, we can kill the other one on the bottom floor anyways. Thanks to the draft. Let's start collecting souls. I'm gonna once again take 5 here. To set up easier. No. It's just this Entombed Explosive. That makes a difference. This one won't die this turn. That's a problem. But not a huge one. How about Drag and then Fletchling Imp in the front? It's good damage. It's just not good enough damage. Fletchling Imp maybe should have gone in the second position, so it would actually attack as well. So the Devourer of Death would actually kill the Absolver off. But we only have 1 Scorch this turn to deal with, so that's fine. We do have more units to reform than we currently have reforms available from Rector, so I'm gonna use the Sacred Wicks. This is very good. Do want to play this. We need to focus on scaling our draft, so it should, in theory, be on the top floor, but this bottom floor really requires our attention. Next turn we'll have 3 energy worth of Scorches to play. Not the greatest thing in the world. Do want to keep this draft alive until it burns out so we can actually kill something here. Dragging it back, kill Step Solvar, and then we play these out. Two waves remaining. We could get the draft back right now, but that's not really gonna accomplish anything. Instead, I'm gonna get the drag back, so we are guaranteed to get the draft with Rector Flicker instead. Let's see what's in the box. Patchumber, Welder, Helper. That can help. That can work. No, Welder Helper isn't great here. Just gonna get rid of it at the top floor, where it is unlikely to matter. Fire Tromper in the front, just so it dies. Do I want this drag to die? Not really. Doesn't really benefit us at all. This Lady of the House has a bad burnout time right now. Can keep this in my deck, that's fine. I still have 10 Pyre armor remaining. Do want this draft and then Purify and Cleanse it next turn, all the way in the back. This draft is gonna be our main boss damage on this bottom floor. Definitely Ritual. What is our reform this turn? Drag and Pyre Jumper. Means at least we have energy next turn. I would have liked to play Tiresome Climb back here actually. Maybe I should have. We can't Tiresome Climb on this floor, that's out of the question. Let's see, how can we prevent the maximum damage here? These things both have Burnout 1, so they're not great in preventing damage. Anything Burnout 1 doesn't really help us prevent damage. Drag doors. Fletchling Imp will be last. And in the second position. And drag in the fourth position. This tomb in front because it has burnout 1 anyways. This one here. That is so close. Well, not that close. We're still missing 200 damage. But 1 days might have made a difference, like actually these guys striking one more time. Maybe I should have set up on the second floor. My big damage floor here. But it's good enough. If we take out all trials and kill generally on the second floor, things will be fine. Formless child? That's very hard to hit the right target with. I'll take another Sacres. And we need draw now. Sacres is important because it gives us a big scaling damage thingy. Quick attack health. I'm still looking for multi-strike on the Entombed Explosion, on the Lady of the House, and now I actually have some money to upgrade some things. I think I'll give her one attack stone. The Devourer of Death having extra health can sometimes be very nice. There we go with the Lady of the House. I also want the Devourer to have rage. And finally, might as well not buy this. Let's remove 2 more unupgraded torches, because they really don't matter now. And it's just Dark Calling 3. I want to have the Dark Calling Rector on a lower floor now, if at all possible. So we get the reform faster. Maybe second floor would be okay. Second floor is actually pretty much ideal. We can't deal with these guys. They will just die to the Vapor Funnel and then hit our higher armor with their death effect, extinguish thingy. Don't want this. Yeah, I mean, the drag dies no matter where I place it, and I really can't prevent it at all, so... I would like to be able to kill the top enemy. Maybe we can get the molding imp here. Memento Mori. While that works out for killing the Wildwings, we can't get to the Collector with this hand. Reforms won't help us. No, the Entombed Explosive has burnout, it dies. We need some more damage on this floor. That's for sure. Let me think. What do we want to reform now? Do we need energy for future hands? Not that much. Do I want to play the self-mutilation? I do want to play the Pyre Chomper. I think we can play Welder Helper on this floor maybe. Or maybe even, maybe on the top floor instead. We have to play Memento Mori though. This is gonna bring us up to 5 energy. This brings us down to 2. So self-mutilation. Yeah, we can play all of it. We need some more damage on this floor too. Can't be Memento Mori, so I guess it has to be Drax. I mean, these provide sizable damage numbers. Pyre Chomper. I want it to die, but not before Rector triggers. I eventually want it back, just not now. And I don't think... No, we do Molded. Just bring back one of the drags. Save some health on the lady. So she actually has a chance to strike before she burns out next turn. Wait. Yeah, she does burn out next turn. That's fine. Let's see, we can purge the self-mutilation, we can purge the dead weight. Do we want to purge the cleanse? Maybe. I don't mind the lady dying here. We need a bit more damage on the enemies though. That won't die. This helps us get some damage. We always have the draft. The draft is gonna be pretty big. We're gonna burn out the drag, probably the Entombed Explosive. Not the ritual. I don't think we burn out the ritual. I don't think we burn out the tiresome climb, but then we don't have enough energy to play the draft, so that's a problem. I do want a purifying cleanse for later. And just make a big draft. put it all the way in the back. So she does 82, the drag kills that guy, then these two hit the Gilded Wing, this one will finish it off and also kill the Purifier, so that's fine. We did kill the Tilesome Climb, right? So we don't have any way to ascend. That sucks, but that's just how it is. Didn't get back our draft, that's annoying. Now we have trouble dealing with this Gilded Wing. Devourer of Death is no longer a tomb, right? Almost forgot about that. Fletchling Imp cannot take hits here. It's too fragile. We can take the self-mutilation damage, no problem. Now, right now we're dealing 12, 30, 71, and then Rectal Flicker wastes this big hit on the Steel Wings. That sucks, but not much we can do. Let's also provide some damage on the bottom floor. Should we went this floor or the bottom one? How do we deal with that guy? Probably not very well at all. We might draw into Memento Mori. Yeah, I think this is right. This wave will be the most problematic for us. Next one we should be able to handle. There's another Sacres after all, and we have Molded. Definitely Molded back to draft. Over the lady? Maybe the lady is more important. She also has multi-strike. This guy's gonna go to top floor, get dazed. We already lost our Pyre shield. But it's not like we can stop them. We have to take the damage here. I think I do want to burn out the Pyre Chomper. Let me think. How much damage do we need here? We definitely play the lady, that's for sure. In the front. Waves remaining 2. Is it time to populate the bottom floor instead? With the lady, use the drag to clean up the mess here. Rector can kill the Steel Wings. But so can Draft. Draft needs to survive. We can do that with a Fletchling Imp, for example. Or a drag, actually. 13 health, that's just slightly too low. Still gets killed. I think we do want to actually populate the bottom floor. Then Sacres. That gives us a draft with plus 50, so 60 attack. That's enough to kill the Steel Wings in one hit and then deal another 60 to the Gilded Wing. That won't do. That one is too small. We actually use the Pyre Chomper instead. Yeah, that will work better. There we go, that kills the entire floor there. We kill the Steel Wings here. We do take some damage to the top line guy. But it's just 10. I think we can afford that. Let's play these two. We do have the Pyre Chomper after all. You should probably be here. Slow burnout though. No, maybe you should be here. We have too many reform targets though. Do we have another... We have a Sacred Wix in the deck. I'm willing to try. I think this is pretty much optimal. This is 200 damage, not a whole lot. These things burn out. We didn't draw into the Sacred Wix at all. You do provide significant damage right now. As long as we can make you live a bit longer, which seems hard. Because all our units here have burnout 1. Is it just sack res and burn everything for another decent draft here? That we then can possibly reform with the Sacred Wix and put on this floor? I think that's the play. Let's see what Sacred Wix brings us. There's a draft. Let's get more drafts back. These are the most significant damage we can get. Just send in the drafts. We took 15 damage, which isn't great. This challenge is indeed quite a bit harder. Wax and Spike, Crushing Demise. Either of these could be very good. I think Crushing Demise is a lot better here. Inferno! That's a bit too much self-destruction. We don't have that much reform, is the problem. But it's also very, very helpful against the enemy waves. We might need some help here. Exploding Candle is really good AoE. Hell's Banners is really good energy. Permafrost. Start with the removals. We always remove the final non-upgraded Torch. And the unupgraded Ritual. No, actually we have too many Drags now. I'm gonna go with these relics. Not gonna keep a lot of core gold here. Inferno is a bit too expensive. Don't really want to reroll here. Permafrost could go on... I don't even know. Inferno maybe? We definitely dupe demolded. We are a little low on reform right now, so duping the molded makes a lot of sense. I should probably buy the removal here on the Ritual of Battle. The expensive one is not good. And then we leave, because we don't need the consume magic power one. And it's on against the Seraph of... The Seraph of Rally. Luckily Rally doesn't trigger from the Sketches of Salvation here, otherwise that might have been bad. Feel like we need Rector Flicker on the second floor again. On the bottom floor we do have some reform tools. In case Rector Flicker dies, we can use other tools. Let's see what's in the box first. Moldings. Yeah, I don't really like triggering an incant here, but we are gonna trigger some incants. We can't really prevent all of them, no matter what we do. I kinda wanted to consume the Lady of the House, so we get her in the reform pool immediately. The Entombed Explosive. I do want to kill this guy. I could do so with a Molding Imp. It's probably the most reasonable approach. Not on this floor for sure. Then we play the draft on the top so it dies before Rector Flicker's Resolve triggers. We didn't get it back, but was worth a try. We also didn't get the lady back, so that really sucks. Lady is gonna be important. So we focus on her with the reforms. We also focus on her with the deaths. I don't even wanna Molding Imp these guys. This is just 30 damage right now, so we don't play it. Start stacking some Rage on Rector. Don't want these guys to die, but they are gonna burn out. Well, not both of them. And these guys can stay in the deck for now. There's an Inferno that wouldn't be bad on the bottom floor. There's also Sacres to make another giant draft. I think we put the Devourer down so we can start gathering souls. I really don't want to consume the Sacred Wicks. I'm gonna play it. These are very good reforms. I think Lady goes down, triggering an incant, yes. But I think that's worth it. Draft can be on the next floor up, that's fine. This is the floor where Rage matters the most. Let's just put this up there. I don't think we want to... No, we want more drafts. The amount of drafts we have is... Yeah, that determines how much damage we can do for the most part. This is fine. Very nice. We don't have to play anything on the top floor. Let's bring back the lady again. The reform time on her is gonna be very, very important. I'm immediately gonna kill her again and destroy a Gilded Wing with that. And just send some giant damage onto that Gilded Wing as well. I think we are managing this fight quite well so far. We just need to be ready for the... ready with the wave counter, basically. Here's the tiresome climb. We don't want to consume that. If this is gonna be our kill floor, then we really don't want to consume it, because it gives us 2 free turns against the Seraph. We definitely want our lady back. Burner 10 is good enough, I think. I think that's... The lady is in the state where we want her to be. I don't want to block the hit Seraph is trying to do here. We could also just use the Molding Imp, but I want the Rage Scaling. We do want to keep the burnout up on you now. 3 more waves remaining. We draw 6 cards a turn. We have 10... about 15 cards left in the deck. How are we gonna play these? We're gonna have 12 cards in the deck. We can play Tiresome Climb this turn pretty safely. Just send the trash on the bottom floor. Maybe I should have Sacrist here. But we don't need that many drafts. We need a couple of them. But we don't need all of them. Like, there's a limit to how many we can effectively use. And the drafts we create now won't have that much. Won't have that much burnout on them anyways. But I still think it's worth creating some more. Well, one more rather. It's not worth creating any more this turn. This one has burnout 3, we can make it a burnout 6, that's a good number. Start working on another one. We can actually get one kill on the top floor. And I don't hate that at all. Straff should definitely be behind the Devourer. Ritual of Battle belongs on the draft probably. We are also gonna increase their burnout. And just sweep this wave. I don't want another draft, so we have higher chance of getting the stuff back that's already in there. Especially this draft. So it's time to ascend our dear Mr. Seraph. And we need some more damage, but that was always gonna be the case. We can molder back this draft. We should have played the units before, so we don't give them additional triggers here. This is another 170 by 5 damage. I think actually you belong in the front. This is not quite enough, so we have to prepare the top floor as well. The top floor isn't gonna be great. But we should be able to potentially get back our lady. And she's pretty big. I should play these in the Pyre room. These guys are quite large. There we go. We get our Seraph kill without any damage taken, but only on the top floor. But we got one turn with our ascent, so this is still a 2-turn boss rush. So we still got a 40k score. This challenge is pretty difficult. A 40k score for this challenge is very good in my opinion. It's also a very challenging run to play. If you're not familiar with Melting Remnant, this run can be very, very hard to actually win. Because that reform, the reform strat requires you to plan very far ahead in terms of your reform timer, in terms of your floor capacity. You need to make contingency plans in case Rector Flicker doesn't bring back the unit you want him to bring back. Things like that. You need to make sure what you consume with Sacrificial Resurrection. I don't think there are much more difficult decks to play than something like this. And that is probably part of the reason why I don't expect this challenge to have that many scores above 40k, if at all. I think Nate is definitely a strong contender for beating me here. I think he has done some pretty impressive things in the past, so I could see this score getting beaten, but we'll see about that. Anyways, that is the second and final of the qualifier custom challenges where the top 10 people qualify for the quarterfinals. The top 10 people of each custom challenge qualify for the quarterfinals. There aren't 10 people in the challenge yet, but there are still like, I think, 16 more hours to play. Or maybe even 17 more hours to play this challenge, so there will be a lot more people showing up relatively soon. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this run with a very dynamic Melting Remnant deck, and I will see you guys on the next video, or perhaps live on Twitch streaming the quarterfinals, and if I manage to make it further, the following round. So Luna says bye, and so do I. Bye bye.